Welcome back to the Lumbertron podcast. Today I sat down with Ben Lidgus, a man with no title, no agenda, not trying to push anything or please anyone. I think we could all learn something from this kind of attitude. Let's get right to our talk.
So, what does it take to be a friend of the show?
What does it take to be a friend of the show? You have to be a friend of Tyler. Therefore, you're then a friend of the show.
I think it takes more than being a friend of Tyler. I mean, have you ever heard like someone on their show be like, "Hey, I'd like to welcome my good friend and friend of the show," yada yada yada.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, there are people who have circles of intersecting interests.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you probably have to be a movement nerd.
Mm-hmm.
We probably have to go to the gym together all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, we might have to send each other good morning texts. And be like, yeah, this is my friend, Ben. It's really great.
We said good morning texts.
Yeah, I just wake up, I get a good morning text. It feels good. There was a time I was getting good morning texts from my boss or someone related to him. That was very strange because I never opted into that. And it was a group text. So it would be like, good morning, everyone. Good morning, sir. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Interesting. There was, I don't know if this is a funny idea, but I heard about it and I loved it, and then I've had trouble implementing it, where I've been sending people Google Calendar invites for, like, to do things such as, like, 9 a.m. Tuesday. Don't care about your haters.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Wednesday, 3 p.m. Practice some self-love.
Oh, that's good.
Thursday, noon. Remember your love for Michael Jackson. Things like that.
Wednesday, 6 p.m. You're okay today. Everything's fine. Yeah.
And it's really satisfying when someone accepts that Google invite. And be like, all right, I will dab on my haters.
Yeah, today's going to be that day. I'm going to make that happen. Monday, 5:45 a.m. You got your big boy pants on this morning. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Ben!
Hello, Tyler.
Welcome to the Lumbertron podcast.
It's good to be here.
It's good to have you.
Your studio is gorgeous.
It's a fantastic studio here in Mountain Lake Terrace.
Mm-hmm.
It's my apartment.
Mm-hmm. Can you use your microphone to produce your ASMR videos?
I could do that.
That's a 3D microphone?
It's got two sides. That's two. I don't think that's a 3D microphone.
I don't know if that qualifies for ASMR.
I don't know anything about ASMR. It's just like closeness in your ear holes. I don't know.
Well, they have you need a special microphone. Like some people online will just whisper.
Okay,
which
that's
not
what
good,
I know.
Which is not good.
Okay.
That's
so it has to be omnidirectional. It's like whispering, but it's behind you and sideways.
I mean, it should feel like the person is whispering in your ear.
Okay.
And you can get special microphones, and they're called 3D microphones. I think
Right.
they make that happen, and they're very expensive.
So, for what I know, I don't think I can ASMR with that.
Mm.
I could whisper into the microphone, but that would
Okay,
make
hold
the
on.
purest
Well, this
sad.
for later. Hi guys, it's me, Ben. I prepared some special ASMR triggers for you today, and I'm really excited. I'm gonna show you my makeup collection. And this is Tyler. Today we're gonna go on Pinterest and look at pictures of castles. It's gonna be really great. You guys are gonna enjoy. The pictures of castles have zero ASMR value because it's a complete visual phenomena. That's not. I can describe the castles. It's gonna be really good. Fuck off, Tyler. You could describe anything.
You don't understand my medieval.
Eat shit and die.
God damn.
Have you ever watched an ASMR video?
No, I haven't. Do you need the visual component?
Well,
Does it help?
no. So most ASMR videos are like either just like collections of sound effects, like people using their nails and like tapping on surfaces or like doing brushes. There's also a weird part of it which is role play, like, hi, I will be checking. I'm your doctor today, and then so it's like this.
You're building the world of why there's someone right next to your head.
Yeah.
I'm your barber. I'm giving you a haircut. How about the Dodgers? Sports.
Yeah, it's like
click.
there seems to be a component of it which is like personal care and attention. That's like part of it. I remember the first time I found an ASMR video. It reminded me of my first eye exam where they put that big thing in front of your eyes and they go,
one
none.
or two.
Yeah, and
or B.
I had a huge crush on that eye doctor, and I met her when I was like 10, right? And she was just like,
yes.
number 1 or number 2? And I was like, oh, could you say it
the first one again?
Could you say it again, please? Oh my God!
You're not wearing glasses today, so something may have gone correctly.
Yeah. And so the ones with personal attention make more sense to me.
Yeah, I can see where that fulfills a need. People going on YouTube just get it's like someone's there for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like it's like the most intense feminine experience you could possibly have is an ASMR video.
I mean, as a small child, that was the closest a female got to me, was cutting my hair. Barber's like, oh, touching your head.
There's a lot of ASMR haircut role plays.
Of course there are. Haircut role play.
So,
it's so niche.
Because also the click of the scissors, like, it's an excuse to get someone close to your ears, and the click of the scissors is ASMR triggery.
Is that a good sound? So are you triggered by ASMR? Do you?
No, but but the sounds are nice. But it's something like, it stands for like auditory something medial response.
Okay.
And so people talk about like getting the tingles. I don't get that at all.
All right, so that's the goal, I guess. You watch these and you feel a tingle from the audio being in 3D.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the, like, I don't know, the center of the mandala. But I had a friend who was super into it, who he would just watch videos of people doing things carefully. He showed me a video once and it was ASMR, I guess, or okay. ASMR adjacent, which was a man in a tuxedo who worked as a like a shoe shiner. Or something who would also repair shoes. Not a shoe shiner, but like, yes, he shined the shoes.
Craftsman.
Yeah, so.
The word, bootmaker, cobbler. Cobbler.
Yeah, a cobbler. And but just the, like, it was like his workstation was very neat. And he had a place for everything.
That is another subsection of YouTube. People making knives out of, like, cardboard. Mm-hmm. People cooking. Mm-hmm. All in a nice laid out space. So... the only audio you have is them working.
Yeah,
applying their trade. Yeah,
it's very soothing to see someone do something purposefully and carefully.
Yeah.
Hence the original patron saint of ASMR, Bob Ross, who not only spoke softly but had the boof 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 of the brush, and it was also just like extremely validating to you. It's like, this is your world, this is your creation. You can do anything here.
All that you bring is welcome here in this forest.
So I looked at the other, I saw David Fenn's Lumbertron podcast episode, and I perused some of the others, and I was just like, oh, so everyone is like, has a thing.
Everyone's got a thing.
But like, in this world, I'm going to be known as the ASMR freak. That's like, as far as they're concerned, this is what I do.
If we just keep talking about ASMR, that's all it's going to be. Mm-hmm. Unless we abruptly pivot into getting texts from my mother asking me, how is my day? How is my day? My day's great. Thanks, Mom. You close with your mother?
Yeah.
Far away? Nearby?
She lives a
Across
little
the
bit
world?
north of Portland, so that's about a little bit more than a 2-hour drive away.
How often do you see her?
3 or 4 times a year.
Most excellent.
How often do you see your mom?
I see my mom once every month or two, and definitely on the holidays. So, handful of times a year, 6 to 12. That is a rough approximation. Yeah. And I never go home without eggs now, because my mom has chickens. So that's my mom's thing. Chickens.
That's very nice. Does she kill them?
She does not kill them. Sometimes the hawks do, though. She's lost some to wildlife. That was a damn shame.
I did kill a chicken once, and I did not enjoy it.
Okay.
It was not fun. It was like you take it, you grab it by its feet, and the way we did it is you put it in an upside down traffic cone so that it can't wiggle. Or and then you take a knife, and you cut its throat, and it's like uncomfortable for a second.
Reach into the traffic cone.
No, you hang it. You grab its by its feet. You put it in the traffic cone. Head comes out. So you might even
get it, so that it's coming out of the it has a hole in it. Got it.
So you might even snip the top of the traffic cone so that the chicken comes out farther. And then you have a knife and you cut its throat, and it is mildly upset for about 0.3 seconds. And then it's upside down, so blood comes out of its neck, and then dribbles up its face and on its way to the ground. And it just kind of just goes about being a chicken while it dies with no, just like, and then every once in a while, like it's like, and then it's just fine for a second while it dies. And then,
what did that teach you?
It taught me that there's a price when you eat live food, right? When you eat food that's dead now, and then you take it and you put it in really hot water, and then you pluck all the feathers off, and the hot water helps get the feathers off, and then like you open it up. And there's, you got to take out certain things that you do not want to eat.
You do.
And it's funny how brightly colored the inside of a chicken is. You wouldn't think there'd be like, oh, it's probably like different shades of pink. No, like bright yellow. Like robin's egg blue.
Okay, yeah, you got the visceral fat, which is yellow. Got the liver, that's like brown. Got a chicken heart.
Yeah, and I can't recall them directly, but I remember being very surprised.
Some rainbows. All right. So where did that take place? Did you grow up on a farm? Did your parents?
No, I
land,
had.
Or did you?
For a while, I had some roommates that had some chickens, and.
Okay, so this wasn't like as a kid.
No.
All right.
I was 33.
All right. So this wasn't a young formative experience of
no,
chickens.
But
still,
their young 7-year-old child walked by and looked at what we were doing and just was like, this is the same kid who I was hanging out with the roommates, and the dad, Morgan, came home and he really liked oysters, so he bought himself like 4 or 5 oysters just to eat over the sink, and so we're just hanging out talking, and Morgan's shucking oysters and eating them in the sink, and the young boy, Huckleberry,
of course,
Huck, came by and just looked at his dad eating oysters, and I don't know if he'd ever seen them before, or even understood that they were a food. Yeah, it was like they just like rocks. His dad's got rocks, and he was like, "They're dying and they're screaming." And I was like, "Huck is psychic.
He can hear the oysters screaming."
So there you go.
Everything has its price.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you?
Who am I?
Who are you?
What do you mean by that? I don't understand.
What do you do? What What makes you tick?
What makes me tick? What do I do?
Do you have a title?
Do I have a title?
Yeah.
No, I don't have a
You
title.
don't have a title. All right.
You want to know what my job is?
You
Is that what you're asking?
If that's a big part of your life, do you define yourself by that job?
No, not really.
Okay. That's cool. What do you define yourself with? Are you just Ben?
What do I define myself with? I don't know. I don't know if I have an answer to that.
All right. That's cool. That's okay. So... Are you from Portland originally?
No, my mom moved to Portland.
Okay. Where from? Where's your origins?
She moved from Milwaukee.
Ilwaco.
But I was born and raised in like the east side, so Redmond, Issaquah-ish. When my parents got divorced, my mom moved to Bothell, so I lived there briefly while splitting time between my mom and my dad.
Okay, so you've grown up in the Pacific Northwest then.
Mm-hmm.
And what are some things that you like to do in the Pacific
I
Northwest?
just came from a Kundalini yoga class.
Kundalini yoga.
Yesterday I was at a financial independence convention where I gave an improv workshop.
Ooh, improv.
Let's see. Also, last night I did a couple of improv shows. Let's see. I used to be a high school teacher, and now I'm a tutor. This year I'm going to be 40.
How's that make you feel?
I don't really have feelings about it.
Cool.
Let's see. I joined a gym that's dealing with, like, they call it functional athletics.
Okay.
So I was doing CrossFit, and I know you do CrossFit as well. Or do you?
I don't do CrossFit.
All right.
I work out in the corner of a CrossFit gym sometimes.
Okay. I only deal in absolutes, so you do CrossFit.
I do CrossFit. Yeah, that's right. You're a yoga guy. You do yoga.
Yeah. So functional is like, it just has a lot more to do. It's the opposite of CrossFit. So you do a lot of stuff on one leg, a lot of stuff off balance, a lot of stuff with twisting.
Are there some sandbags you have to pick up? Some backpacks?
No.
You have to climb any stairs?
Nope.
Okay. Interesting.
Let's see. I'm excited for the spring and the summer. I've been meditating in Seward Park a lot. I really like that. On Lake Washington. That's what I got.
Are you a spiritual person?
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of practices? What kind of callings? What kind of avenues does that take for you?
I found a native teacher some time ago, so I've been involved with Sweat Lodge for some time and just learned and being along that path of what I might call a ceremonial or red road path.
Okay.
For about 7 or 8 years.
Like establishing and operating a Sweat Lodge? I mean, what does that path culminate in?
What culminate? You mean like
what happens
transcendent oneness and enlightenment?
Okay.
The awareness of all things as self and creator.
But Sweat Lodge.
What you mean? What is a Sweat Lodge?
Sure, we'll start with that.
All right, a Sweat Lodge is you build a fire in a specific way, and there is a small hut which is about 4 feet high, and usually seated fit about let's say 10 people, 12 people in there. And then so you have the fire and you put some stones in there. When the stones are hot, you bring them inside, and so they're usually glowing orange, and you put them in, and there someone will pour water on it. What is that person you might call the pourer or the intercessor, which creates a lot of heat and steam. And there's different intentions for the prayer around every round.
Okay. All right. So being on that, you say you're on a path.
Ceremonial path.
Ceremonial path.
Mm-hmm.
To fit into one of those roles and do that thing and establishing a sweat lodge, or do you have a goal? Is there a goal? You just
in spirituality.
In this path to being in.
I don't know. Let's say it's the same as anyone's spiritual goals. Like it could be like greater understanding of the energetic universe, happiness.
Okay, I'm too linked to the organization of a few people doing roles in the sweat lodge, and not the spiritual component.
An understanding of self, of the forces that guides one's life. Really, it's an opportunity to pray.
Okay.
That's what it is. The sweat lodge is an opportunity, and it's a specific way to pray. So, whatever anyone's goals behind any form of prayer would be, that would also be the goal behind sweat lodge.
Different avenue and a different way to. Interesting. That's really cool. Anything else besides this native teacher you mentioned? You do meditation.
I'm a meditator. Anything else? I don't know. I've been reading a lot of Carl Jung lately. I was really excited with that. Which, like, some people would say is psychotherapy. For me, it feels like a spiritual pursuit.
Mm-hmm. Just learning about the archetypal energies and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about MKP? How did you find the Mankind Project?
Through Bryce. You know Bryce?
Bryce James.
Yeah.
Man of the Mankind Project.
Yeah. I met him at a ceremony, and he was like, "You're cool, dude. You should show up to Mankind Project." And I was like, fine. So I resisted it for some time, and then I was like, I'll try one of these I groups, but I could never get one to work. Right? The schedule never worked. And then he would invite me to like Circle of Men or whatever other stuff, and then I could never make it to those either. So after a while, I realized what I was doing was auditioning the New Warrior Training Adventure weekend, or through these group meetings that I couldn't make it to. So after not being able to make it to many of them, I decided I would just go. Just
go to this New Warrior Training Adventure.
Sight unseen, yeah. And that was a great choice. So
awesome. You feel like you're changed in any way before that and after that?
Changed? I don't know. It just seems like another part.
It's a good experience for you.
Yeah. It just seems like a fruitful avenue. Changed? I don't know. It felt like a very significant weekend. Changed? I don't know. I changed in that, like, I definitely have an appreciation for my previously unmet need for the necessity to be around men in an emotionally vulnerable and community sort of way. Or because a lot of, other work that I do is around women. Because that's who signs up to do shit. So I'm very much aware of that need in me now. Yes.
And so how do you feel that need now that you know that you have it?
Well, I do Mankind Project activities, and I end up talking about said events with friends a lot. Most people don't want to talk about it all that much. So, Mankind Project activities seem like a great way to do it.
Being in circle, sharing emotions, things like that. That is my jam. What about that? You mentioned improv. Are these some of the places you try to talk about your MKP experience?
No, almost no one is interested in that stuff.
They're just not interested in that.
or there's no indication that people are.
Yeah.
I mean, there's many times that I've been like the blank guy
right? And by that I mean, if there was a while, like after I went to Burning Man, I was the Burning Man guy,
Okay,
right?
yeah, so labels, titles. You were the Burning Man guy for a
Right,
while.
and I
Okay.
was an extreme advocate for Burning Man. And if you didn't go to Burning Man, I was going to give you the hard fucking sell about Burning Man. Or maybe psychedelics, right? I would be like,
okay.
I wanted to tell, if you were a proponent of psychedelics, I was going to give you the hard fucking sell. I was a psychedelic guy. All right, and Mankind Project has been wonderful for me, but and I have some instinct to be like to proselytize once again and to be the Mankind Project guy, but it just seems like a waste of fucking time.
Yeah,
right.
If it comes just having your own experience.
Yeah,
and sharing it.
And if it appears to be the time to share something, I'll share something.
Yeah.
But I'm going to resist the agenda. Because that agenda, I don't think, comes from a whole and complete place in me to proselytize. So I'm just not going to bother, right? And if I get a strong intuition that says now is the time and place to share your experience, I'll share my experience.
So you've got an agenda of go with the flow, no agenda.
Agenda of no agenda.
Agenda of no agenda. Man of many faces, many tools. You can give your thing, give your resources out if you see that they're needed.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Correct.
I like that. You've come far enough in life to where you're just like, whatever. This is.
Yeah. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Let's party.
Very accepting. I like that. So look at the time. People are already asking where the S building is. Trying to get to the circle.
It's this apartment complex of you is a fucking nightmare to find the S building.
Yeah,
it's S building is not by the R building.
No, it's not by the R building at all. It's all the way at the end by the A building because it was added onto the end.
And it's painted a different color.
Yeah, and it's different. It's different completely.
It probably took I've lived in apartment complexes, and they usually have directions that say like S this way, R, or like R through Z this way.
Yeah, split up.
Not this one.
No. All we have is too much trash and strange buildings. Yeah.
So how do you feel like that reflects on you as a person?
What? The S building being in a weird place and living in this apartment complex?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't feel like that at all. I do work for my apartment complex as the trash man, but I too have...
You're the trash man of your apartment?
I'm the trash man of the apartment complex.
Like the whole thing or the S building?
The whole thing.
What does that mean?
That means when those dumpsters fill up, as they have, I attach them to a golf cart and drive them up to a compactor and I push it up into the compactor and put it in. It's broken right now. It's been broken for almost 2 weeks, and so we're at a trash crisis. But I've long ago stopped caring because I've done all I can do.
Do you get like half your rent off for that or something?
No, I just get $13 an hour. And it's part time.
Fancy.
So yeah.
But you get to drive a golf cart.
I get to drive a golf cart.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah. I think I need to name that golf cart. It doesn't have a name.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the thing. My brother has arrived. How exciting.
Ladies and gentlemen at home, this podcast is about to turn into a trio.
Welcome.
I know you were expecting
We're recording a podcast right now.
a duo.
You're in.
But no, this is now a trio.
This is now a trio as Clark Woods has entered the building. Clark, welcome to the Lumbertron podcast. If you want to be a part of it. Here you go. I'm sure.
Thanks.
We were just discussing how what a maze of confusion that
how terrible this apartment complex is in the S building. Yeah.
Do you have a comment?
Found us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good work. Do you have a comment on the maze that is Terrace Heights?
It's hard to find my way here.
Well said. Well said. So, circles of men. We're prepping here for a circle of men.
Mm-hmm. Prepping hard.
Prepping hard.
Some deep knee bends.
Yeah, dude.
Vitamins.
They're no
Fiber.
No, we don't have any.
Wind
of that.
sprints.
No.
Brushing
no.
our teeth.
Yeah, there's some of that. Some
Flossing.
A little bit of ASMR. We talked about Bob Ross earlier. Do you ever listen to ASMR videos before? Where they talk in your ears? This guy's a master of ASMR. That's his thing, actually.
It's going to be my thing on this podcast because it was the first thing we talked about.
Yeah.
Other people are like, craftsperson, handyman, like, is going to be known. Like, I'm the self-love guru coach. Me, I'm just like, I'm a guy in the ASMR videos.
Yeah,
That's how the world knows me now.
You're the weird guy with no agenda. You can't, I can't put you in a box.
Try.
It's strange.
You're not just trying hard enough.
Yeah, I'm not trying hard enough. That's okay. I don't really care if you're in a box or not. It makes for easy branding, you know? Mm-hmm. What's next for Ben? You got any goals? You got any things that just drive you? What gets you up in the morning? What drives you?
What gets me up? Well, all right. Next goal is the school year's coming to end soon, so my tutoring practice will taper off. So I will have a lot more free time during the summer. I will work a little bit, so I will be looking for alternative sources of income.
Is this something that happens in a cycle for you? Like as you tutor in the summer, and then you do who knows what for the summer, and then you tutor, and then...
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a coaching business that I'm trying to take to a more legit level.
What kind of coaching?
I don't know if personal. I don't know if there's a name for it, right? So you could say there's like types of coaching are like, you could say there's fitness coaches, nutrition coaches, executive coaches, business coach.
There are life coaches.
I guess life coach would be the best label for it.
You're in that category.
But business and executive are essentially the same thing. They're like, I have a goal and I need a form of either accountability or someone to help me map this process.
Mm-hmm. And you aim to be in that realm of providing that accountability.
Mm-hmm. I think I got a unique angle on decision making. I think some of the stuff you learn in Mankind Project about shadow work can be really useful. Because, why would you want a coach, right? You want a coach like...
An external source of motivation, wisdom?
Well, yeah, if you're hiring someone for external motivation, is that... Like, you're paying money for motivation you don't have? Maybe you're doing the wrong thing, would be my guess.
Okay.
So, wisdom, I guess you could say, like, I'd want someone who's traveled this path before.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And...
life experience that I don't have, I can see different angles.
But a lot of people, like, you can also just find that in the company you work for, right? You could, like, that may or may not be...
If you work for, a company.
Yeah, that may or may not be something you'd actually be willing to pay for.
Yeah.
Developing accountability, that's one. Getting help with decision making, mapping the process, needing someone who is like a good mix of nurturing you in your journey, or finding the barrier when it's time to say, like, you need some personal responsibility. Right? And a lot of processes, let's say you want to be a better public speaker, right? Okay. Part of it is like, you have some basics to learn, right? We need to nurture that.
Yeah.
Right? You need to learn some skills, right? Yeah. And then there's something that is just like, you got to face the music, right? That's not nurturing. That is just like, stand and do it and
do the hard things.
Yeah, and look at your weaknesses.
Learn from the failures.
You might also want a coach for looking at your shadow, right? Because maybe you've been trying for something for a long time. And
shadow the parts myself I hide, repress, and deny.
That you're perplexed while you're failing, and a good knee-jerk action about why you're failing despite constant good-natured effort might be have something to do with your shadow, possibly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess life coach or business coach would be the closest labels.
Some sort of outside influence to help people.
And one thing I'm ruminating on is how do I turn like the convoluted conversation we just had about it
into an actual thing,
into like a couple sentences. So
how do you get yourself a label?
God, I need a label coach.
Yeah, that's what you need. You need a label coach.
So, but I'm not too worried about that. That's one of the things. Like that's one of my stretch goals for myself.
You're not putting a timeline on it yet. You just got like
not a timeline for it.
That's cool. Yeah. All right.
Let's see. What else gets me out of bed?
What does get you out of bed?
Yeah, I'm just. I started volunteering at the Kundalini yoga place that I go to, and I'm just excited about it. Right? It's just my schedule, because I work with kids in the afternoon, and most classes for anything are on weekday evenings.
Yeah.
That doesn't enable me to go a lot, so I've been going to the Sunday morning, but there's also a Monday morning on this Memorial Day. So it has such a positive benefit for me. I'm really interested to see what 2 days in a row it will be like.
Yeah,
because I have not been able to do that for a long time.
So volunteering meaning teaching?
No, show up and setting up stuff.
Show up and okay. Yeah, just
like,
all right. No,
I'm not qualified to teach a Kundalini yoga class whatsoever.
But you're getting a lot of just being a servant in that space and just helping them set up. That's
just
cool.
Being my jam.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what tomorrow will look like. And also, it's just like, Mike, I've done a lot of yoga. A lot of yoga.
Okay.
And I'm really fucking bored by like Lululemon yoga. But what I really enjoy is that, like, in the Kundalini yoga class, there's like dancing and jokes and like irreverence. And when I attend regular yoga classes, I'm just like, this is boring and there's no magic here.
No magic.
When I attend a Kundalini yoga class, I'm like, the meditations were off the chain. I laughed, right? I had an intense experience. And it just felt like some work got done. Something moved within me rather than just
What's the difference between Kundalini yoga and Vinyasa? I don't know.
It's called Lululemon yoga, so it's semi-pejoratively. Even though I have a lot of respect because that gave me a lot of body awareness and consciousness. So Kundalini yoga class is it's about 0% concerned with physical fitness. First of all, it's they would call it the yoga of awareness. So a lot of it is like breathing, chanting, exercises that like are meant to put your body and your psyche in a state.
Okay.
To like have a certain experience. And some of them, for example, like some of them are like real easy, right? Some of them you're just like, there was one I was sitting cross-legged and I just had to bend forward, like put my forehead on the ground and then back up and down. Like some of them are super easy, right? Way easier than that. Some of them, like after 10 seconds, I'm swearing, right? Because they're just like, fuck, this is hard. And they're like, do it more, right? And like, I remember one of those exercises similar to that once where the guy was like, it was like, this is meant to bring up all of your anger. So you're supposed to swear and be angry at this exercise because the exercise does something with your
emotional yoga. I like this.
I don't know. It's supposed to do something with your shit, right? To like help you release it, right? So it does. It first of all, it pisses you off, and second of all, by the way you're breathing and the Kundalini juices running through you or whatever are supposed to like help you like separate that and like purge that. So, like there are times when I'm like tired after a Kundalini yoga class, but it's usually very specific. Like I did 1,000 arm raises or something like that, right? It's more about like testing your personal will, and your perseverance in the faces of a tough goal rather than your arm fitness, right? Or your strict or your bendiness. And for that, I really appreciate it.
That makes sense because I've heard of Kundalini yoga retreats where people go out and they're doing this from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. and that sounds in line with when testing a goal like that.
And it's like you do this like workout, I guess, quote in air quotes, and then what happens is there's like they played the fucking gong. There's like, and you lay down. Every time I fall asleep. And like today I woke up and for a while I had no idea where I was. There was a good solid 15 seconds where I was just like, oh, I'm a Kundalini yoga class. And then you like get up and a lot of the point of the Kundalini yoga is to get to the sound bath and then so you can have a dope meditation. And the meditations I have at Kundalini Yoga are pretty fucking dope.
Damn. That's intense. Alright. Kundalini Yoga. The best ASMR out there. Got a gong? Got a gong all around you?
It's not calming. No. I mean, I fall asleep, but not like because it's like a lullaby.
Yeah.
It's loud. It's like, I don't know. It's like a heavy metal noise or something like that. So.
That's so bizarre. Wow, I love it.
Mm-hmm. And people are funny and interesting. And Kundalini yoga instructors swear, right, is my experience. Where, like, normal yoga instructors, it just seems like it's PB&J with the crust cut off.
On white bread.
Mm-hmm.
With yoga pants. All right. Any parting words of wisdom?
All things in moderation.
All things in moderation.
Including moderation.
All right, Ben. Thank you for being on the Lumbertron podcast.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I hope you had as much fun listening to this podcast as I had making it. It was a fun one. Ben, with surprise guest Clark, my brother. Hopefully to be featured on a future episode. As always, if you have any snarky feedback, comments, or anything else, send them over to lumbertronic@gmail.com. And until next time, keep sharing your story.